What up, kinfolk? It's your boy Screwface Capone in the house. It's Thanksgiving week, so depending on my timing, you're probably watching this before or after Thanksgiving. So hope you have a happy Thanksgiving and be safe out there for Black Friday. Or if it's after Thanksgiving, then I hope you had a good Thanksgiving and you're being safe for Black Friday. But anyway, I got some very special plan for you guys. Let's switch it over. This bad boy is the Legends Gamer Wireless Arcade Edition. Now, if you saw my Instagram post from a few weeks ago, then you'll know that I promised a unboxing a couple weeks ago, but a bunch of things happened. I had filmed the footage for the unboxing, but I was using a new camera. Apparently, and you gotta really adjust it to get it right. Otherwise, the footage looks like crap. So it did come out the way I wanted, and so I was then going to just skip the unboxing and go into a deep dive about what the game's features and how to sideload games and whatnot. But then a few nights ago, some of the buttons on the unit crapped out. Not a good look at games, but thankfully I was able to take it back to Sam's Club and exchange it today. So it was actually no problem. So I was able to get this. So I'll be able to do an unboxing video after all. Now, if you've kept up with the channel, and you know I'm a huge proponent of games and devices. Last year I did a look at the Legends Flashback device. Both two different versions of it. Those are, well, first of all, Games is like one of those companies that specializes in plug and play devices. Back in the days, they did those Genesis consoles that you could play the games and also had the games built in. But the first several iterations just weren't very good. I think they did improve though. Like the last one they did, which came out like short before the Genesis Mini came out, I heard that was actually pretty good. And they also produced versions of the Arcade 2600 along with a limited edition ColecoVision and television, and an Intellivision console they did too. And so they started moving on to wireless arcade stuff. And I'm sure you've seen the Legends Gamer Ultimate, which is the arcade stand-up, but this is the Legends Gamer. Let me get a bit closer to this. This is the Legends Gamer Pro, which is actually a standalone joystick with an HDMI plug-in. While I'm tempted to get the arcade machine like one day, maybe I still will. But as frequently as I move around, and because I live in an apartment, like it's just not feasible to look at big ass arcade machine from one location to another. So this is actually a pretty good thing. And hopefully, when it's not failing, then it's actually got a good quality of stuff. As you can see up here, like here's a different variety of games and companies that's on here. And one thing I'm surprised to look at, let me zoom in real quick. Let's get a zoom in. There we go. So one thing I'm actually surprised by is, well, you got Data East, there's Disney, Jalco, and the Disney games, by the way, are those ports of those 16-bit versions of Aladdin and Lion King that came out. So just keep that in mind. They also got the Super Star Wars games. Let's zoom in some more. Also, one thing I'm surprised by, Lucasfilm, they got a lot of the old console games that were put out by LucasArts, the Super Star Wars trilogy and Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And one thing I'm surprised to see on this one is Taito. For those of you who don't know, Taito was like one of the bigger arcade and console manufacturers back in the day. They put out Space Invaders, Arachnoid, Quicks. I might do a gaming archaeology on them one of these days, because they had a lot of good stuff back in the arcade days. But anyway, now I'm kind of disappointed that there's no Capcom or Namco stuff, and of course the past versions of the Legends game, they had tons of Capcom stuff like Street Fighter, Strider and things like that. I guess that's what sideloading is for, and it's pretty cool to see the. Let's go back. Let's zoom around there. See, this is what you get when you're doing it live. You get the camera outtakes and everything. So yeah, you can see. As you can see, you're getting Burger Time. You're getting games like Burger Time. You're getting Fix It Felix, which is actually a retro style game that was based on that Wreck-It Ralph movie. You got a Star Wars game, which is the Super Star Wars trilogy. And then there's Taito's Zookeeper and Burger Time. And of course, there's Tetris, because of course, these things tend to have Tetris on them a lot. So let's zoom back out. And we're going to get ready to open this thing up. Let me find proper utensil. Alright guys, I have my cutting utensils, so let's go ahead. First let's raise it up some. Part of my mess, but I'll be moving in a couple weeks, so everything's gonna be a bit disheveled. But we are going. But slice this bad boy open. Now I bought this. One thing to mention, I bought this from Sam's Club. So as you can see, so let me zoom back in on that. And as you can see, you get 3 months of Arcadenet, and you get 10 extra games. So you're actually getting 160 games on here. So that's not bad. And I'll show you what they are in a moment. But we'll zoom back out because I just opened up this bad boy. So yeah, if you didn't get your Xbox Series X or your PlayStation 5, then they got these at Sam's Club. And in fact, this week, assuming this is when I'm publishing it, then you can actually get it for it's normally $200, which is already $50 off the asking price, I believe, at Sam's Club. But this week it's $180, so that's even cheaper. That's a pretty good value. So, okay, so first of all, here is the here's the HDMI device. This is what you're going to plug into your TV. It's got an Ethernet. It's also got a Wi-Fi setup hookup if you're going that route. And there's a USB port. And there's a controller pairing button. And there's where you're going to plug your AC cord into. You also got a you also have a USB stick. I'm having a brain fart tonight. It's double-ended, so it doesn't come with its own charger, but this is actually for the joystick. It doesn't come with its own charger, but what you can do is, but if you got like a cell phone charger with a USB port, then this will work with that. And this is what you're going to use with the puck unit. You're going to plug this into there like so. And you're going to plug this in, and it'll turn it on and give it power. And also this right here, the USB drive. If you got a flash drive, then that's where you're going to go to sideload your games. I'm going to show you that. And you're going to use this to hook it up to your TV. It's pretty damn small. So if you got a bigger, so chances are you probably got a bigger one lying around. Then you'll probably want to use that. So here is the device itself. I'm gonna be really careful with this. Legends Gamer. Take the plastic off this bad boy. Now you'd think that this thing would feel heavy, but it actually isn't. That might be just me, of course. But here's the actual arcade unit. Maybe the buttons look more sturdier than the one I got, so that's a good thing. Also, because this is the special edition, the SE unit, it comes with this free trackball. And I'll also show you what. And you also got these free pinball sets on the sides. And also, if you look on the back of here, you got another AC. You got another AC port if you don't want to use the USB. And there's a USB port. I think you can also put a USB hub there along with the USB cable. And here's a control bus. I'm not sure what that was quite used for, but you can also hook up like an arcade light gun to it as well and other stuff. So yeah, that's that. So I'm gonna so pretty much after I'm gonna have to update I gotta update the firmware on this, you know, and also charge up the unit. But after I'm done, I'll give you some demos on the games on here, and I'll show you some of the add-on features as well as some of the game streaming as well. But first, we're gonna go to my computer because I want to let you guys know a few things about like some of the features that's packed on here. So we're gonna go back to my computer. All right, now so now that I finally got around to shooting game footage, I actually had to reshoot this part right here because number one, several things changed from the time I did the unboxing to obviously now. I mean, it's been several weeks between then. I've had to pack up and move, and I didn't have enough time to grab the game footage, so I decided to go ahead and reshoot this particular part. So anyway, what I want to demonstrate is this is the Arcadenet, and what this is you can stream a selection of arcade games free from the cloud service as long as you have a subscription. But the one I got 3 free months of Arcadenet, and I'm not sure what the price is going to be, but here's the current game list. And it recently added pinball games as well, and you'll see that when I go to the game footage. So there's several SNK games, some more obscure titles, things like that. Also BYOG, this is where you can bring your own game, and I'll show you that as well during the game streaming. But this thing you can also stream from your computer on your home network, and I believe that's going to be free. Now they recently came out with BYOG 1.0. It's out of beta, so it's actually $20 a month for 30 hours of persistent storage and cloud gameplay a month. So you get 100 gigabytes to install games on, and you get 10% off the direct drive purchases. And here's the amount of games that you can actually play on there. So it's only like less than 100. So it's gonna be up to. So it's really up to you if it's really worth like $20 a month. But personally, I think you're better off the local streaming. But like, this is one of those things that's like that's just nice to have on there, even if it's not like totally necessary. So now that we went through that, we're gonna go ahead and grab some game footage. All right, I'm hooked up to the Legends Gamer. So we're gonna take a look at some of the features, some of the games, and just some of the little things that are on here. This is the options menu.
So you connect by Wi-Fi, but I'm connecting by Ethernet cable because sometimes Wi-Fi is a little bit too slow to um, hook up. You can also, this is wireless deck control mode. You can also so you can also use this with like a Raspberry Pi or whatever. So about my setup, I'm actually hooking this up to my AverMedia capture card, and it's hooked up to the back of my HDMI, and I'm recording this audio I'm recording by hooking a headset up to that. So if the audio is a bit off, then that's the reason why. Another thing is I'm using a USB hub because I got a keyboard and a mouse connected to it, and I'll show you why later on. And one more thing, it's kind of some of these games use a trackball, but it's kind of tricky to get it to work. I think you got to enable like both halves of the stuff, but if push comes to shove, then don't be afraid to start and restart. If you go to the health check screen like so, then you can use it with this trackball test, then you're good to go. So when in doubt, if you want to do some troubleshooting, always come to that. You can also live stream to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. However, there's no way to directly connect a USB. No way that I know of to directly connect a USB camera or a microphone to the unit. Maybe like there will be some firmware update, but again, so I don't really see the purpose of it. But again, this is one of those things that's cool to have on here. Let's see. You can also do voice chat. There's pinball settings. You can also just these little settings right here. They recently released a beta for their pinball because they're coming out with a Legends Ultimate Pinball set. Let's take a look at some of the games. So if you're familiar with the Legends Flashback, which I looked at a year ago, then you can sort it by channels, platforms, and inputs. Arcade, Genesis, and other consoles. Other consoles being, of course, Nintendo and Super Nintendo. Inputs are joystick and trackball. And channels are like the various companies that contributed. This time there's no Capcom and there's no Namco. I think the Legends Ultimate Arcade does have Namco and Capcom games, but this one is basically Data East, Jaleco, and Taito. And one more thing I want to show is if you got like if you got the Sam's Club version, then once you upgrade your firmware, then you'll get 10 free bonus games. Because they'll come automatically. There's nothing to redeem or anything like that. But you got up till like February 26th to redeem them. But of course, they'll download and you'll have them automatically, so you'll be good. So the 10 bonus games are Android Dunos, Breaker's Revenge, Drift Out 94, Earth Joker, Galamedes, Neo Drift Out, Stormblade, Super Tank, The Adventures of Robbie Robo. And also you get 3 free months of Arcadenet too, along with those 10 free games. So I'll show you what that is shortly. But first, let's check out some of the stuff on the other consoles. This is a game called addonx. I kind of recognize this because my parents bought this for me for Christmas back in the day. It was put out by a company called Taxan, but you'll notice that the copyright is now Pico Interactive. And what Pico is one of those companies that like buy out rights to old games and re-release them on Steam or retro devices. If you got the Evercade, then some of your stuff will show up. In fact, they got their own separate pack. And what this game is kind of like a version of Mega Man meets Castlevania, but the controls are a bit off. This is Italy. You get a sword. These graphics are kind of reminiscent of Castlevania. You gotta love the music, but the controls are a bit messy. Or a bit of a mess. You'll have to play it to know what I'm talking about. You got some cool looking enemy sprites though, and animations and music. You also have a Hall companion. There's a 2-player mode where you can control him. You can You can do like dive bombs and stuff. But you can also control them with one player, but it's a bit of a mess to do so. You gotta hit these switches to open doors. It's like the level design is like wide open, so it's almost like a maze. And we hit these meters, you know, we got a limited time to go in there. I'll try something else. Alright. Here's Taito, and this is the first time I've seen him on one of these devices. Now, Taito was one of the big arcade game manufacturers back in the days. They had several good stuff like Elevator Action, Bubble Bobble, and of course Space Invaders. We're going to check out Operation Thunderbolt. And this is one of the games I used a trackball. You can also hook up a gun to this unit, a light gun. I think there's only certain kinds that work, and I know addonx is working on a light gun peripheral of their own. So that's something you'll want to be on the lookout for.
Operation initiated. Rescue all hostages. Gather intelligence information.
It's like one of those 80s action films. You all Rambo. The trackball works pretty well with a lot of these shooter games that are on here. Joystick is pretty responsive. Joystick is okay. It works as well, but of course nothing beats playing with an actual light gun. Uh-oh. Danger. Of course, the thing is, you gotta move fast, or you'll never catch her by design.
Made contact with intelligent agent and obtained information. Confiscate ammunitions and means of transportation.
I'll check out something else. This is Metal Black. Now, Taito had a couple game compilations back during the PS2 and Xbox era. There's Taito Legends 2 for PlayStation 2, and Taito Legends 1 that was on Xbox. I would definitely recommend them, especially if you can find them on eBay. It's called Metal Black, and I kind of like this music in the game. Of course, another franchise that's on here, that's Taito is known for, is a shoot 'em up called Darius. He recently came out with a pair of compilations for the Nintendo Switch. They're pretty expensive, but they're well worth it. So like in this game, like you gotta these things are randomly floating. You gotta collect them to power them up. It's pretty cool. It just came out pretty early in the 90s. It's actually got some pretty good graphics and music. Surprised like a lot more of these games didn't make their way to home consoles. So let's check out something else. Let's go to Jalco. Now Jalco was another one of those companies that were pretty prominent in the early to mid '90s on the arcades and SNES. Like one of their more famous franchises is the Russian Beat series. That for the Super Nintendo, that was Rival Turf, Brawl Brothers, and Peacekeepers. In fact, if you got their if you got the Switch and you got their online access, then you can get like 2 of those titles for free with the Super Nintendo console. And this is 64th Street Detective Story. It's kind of like got a similar graphical style to Brawl Brothers. I mean, not Brawl Brothers, but like Rival Turf. Like a similar palette. Apparently this takes place in the 20s or 30s, and yet all these guys are finding out look like they're out in the 80s. Yeah, it's your typical early to mid 90s beat 'em up. Alright. Check out something else. Ah, there's good old Data East. If you follow this channel, you know I'm a huge fan of their work. I even did a gaming archaeology on them. Again, they're another big arcade one. They put out Bad Dudes, the Avengers game, of course, and even RoboCop. Let's check it out. Here's Spin Masters, an all-new game. I never seen this on any of their compilations. So this is like a fairly new one. Well, not a new Data East game, but like one is, and I don't usually see these on the compilations that they put out. Like, definitely not that mini arcade cabinet I got. Yeah, it's actually pretty unique. It's got a unique like graphical style. He used a yo-yo to attack and bop enemies on the head. Madrid airports. I guess it starts in Spain. So you basically power up your yo-yo by doing special attack by getting these items, and they'll give you like different tributes, like this freeze ray. You can also power up your weapon. This is pretty great. So you gotta love these goofy animations and graphics. Oh. Bomb. So you can jump on these enemies' heads. Alright. Let's check out something else on here. See, that's actually a pretty fun game. That actually looks like a pretty fun game. You're surprised, like, when you look at these stuff and you see, like, how many games these companies put out, and you wonder, like, why so many of them weren't bought to, like, home consoles. We're in the Arcadenet stuff. Now, Pixel Art is never one of those companies that buy out old games and re-release them. Of course, I think these guys are more concentrated on arcade games. And some of these are the games I got for free with the Sam's Club membership, so that's a cool thing. This is Breaker's Revenge, a fighting game. So yeah, this is your typical mid-90s fighting game. Yeah, the character designs look pretty generic, but of course you can do, but for a mid-90s fighter, you can do worse. Here's some nice little graphical effects. I like that little sound that plays when the round's over. So again, this unit doesn't feel as heavy as you think it would be, but the joystick kind of feels like just right. It's got the it really replicates that feeling of playing at the arcade. Joystick and the buttons. As you go online, especially with the Legends Ultimate Arcade stuff, like they'll show you tutorials on how to replace some of the parts and things like that and mod it. Not so much with the Legends Gamer Pro, but of course there's some tricks you can do with the Legends Gamer Pro as well. But still, this is one of those things that's not. If you grew up playing the arcades, then this will definitely bring that back, that feeling.
9, 8.
So here are all the Disney games. And of course, here are all console games. You got the Aladdin, Lion King, and Fix It Felix, which was basically made to tie into Wreck-It Ralph. Let me check out something. Another thing is, like, in some of these games, you can even post to online leaderboards. So if you see the little trophy icon, then that's one of the games that you can post it to. Let's go back to Disney for a second. And sometimes they even do like challenges periodically online where you can post to or whatever. Now, one thing that bugs me is that with Mile and Mallard, it's the Genesis version, but in my opinion, the Super Nintendo version had better graphics and sound. I mean, that's no big deal because you can, of course, add it through. You can just add it in, but again, I would rather have the Super NES version, especially knowing because with the Super Star Wars games, those are the SNES versions. Same with Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That's the Genesis version. Check out Lion King. So one thing about these Virgin Interactive games, they had some excellent animation, even on the Genesis. It's built by Westwood Studio. Yeah, so this is a Genesis version as well.
It starts.
So your typical hop and bob action platformer. You can throw at them to stun them. If you want to play these on your PC, they're also available on GOG.com. Nah. Like, with these console games, like, it's weird playing them with a joystick and buttons when back in the day you were playing with a gamepad. It's something to get used to. And, of course, what good would a retro gaming device be without versions of Tetris? I don't see why you need 3 versions of Tetris, personally. Especially when, if anything, I would go with this. But, hey, if you want Tetris, then you got different varieties of it. This was featured on the Legends Flashback, too. I kind of like the aesthetic. You play in puzzle mode, or endless mode, or versus mode, so there's a little bit of variety. So this is just like basically to clear it so it gets to the bottom. Yeah, so Tetris is basically Tetris. There are like a billion versions of it. There's a new one out on Xbox One, which is Tetris Connected. I think it's on Game Pass too. Of course, my favorite version was the Tetris DS one that came out years ago. Yeah, I think even the Genesis Mini had its own version of Tetris. It was like a rare, unreleased version. When I first saw this, like, my major concern was that it was going to basically just have the same lineup as the Legends Flashback, but with 50 extra games, but it gets its own beast. And like all the extra stuff you can do with it. I'll show you that in a little bit. Let's put this in the safe slot. You know, let's get up out of here. Now, this is an 8-bit version of Tetris. I'm not sure if it was the Tengen one that was on Nintendo or just an 8-bit version. For those of you who don't remember, like, there were 2 different versions of Tetris. Nintendo produced one, and Tengen, which was basically Atari, they produced one as well, but they ended up suing over it. And Nintendo went out, and so their version is the only one on sale. Lots of people say like that's more superior. But this one's kind of a bit more touchy than the other ones, because if I hit down, it doesn't just accelerate, it just automatically takes it down. And sometimes that might not be what you want to do with a piece. Yeah, see, I'm not sure about this version of it, but at least you get a live counter. Alright. So we're going to check out the Arcadenet stuff next. So what this is like it's a selection of cloud stream of arcade games that you can stream from the cloud. You get three free months, and a lot of these games surprisingly are Neo Geo titles. You got Fatal Fury, Mark of the Wolves, and there's a lot of SNK stuff like from before Neo Geo as well, like Gorilla. And here's Samurai Showdown. Let's check that out. Yeah, so you're basically connecting to a server. Server starting up in 5 minutes, so let's pause it. Okay. Service is currently at capacity. Estimated wait time is 5 minutes. So let's pause for a little. Alright, so I finally got Samurai Showdown working. So the server's starting up. So let's see how it works. This is Samurai Showdown 2 with like, I think 2 or 3 new characters. Nicotine versus Nakaruru. This dude's funny because he can like smoke and make little shapes out of it and attack his enemy. But I'm not sure how much Arcadenet costs is going to cost a month, like after three months are up. But hopefully they'll add on new games. This is definitely a cool feature. I know cloud gaming's been getting big with like the X Cloud and the Stadia. Of course, some better than the others. Because we all know how bad the Stadia is doing. But hopefully this Arcadenet can be some hopefully this Arcadenet can really pick up because it'll be an extra little add-on to the Legends Gamer. I think there's also Restream, which is another retro gaming streaming service I have to check out. But for now, we got some. It's actually pretty good so far. But I'm not playing online. I don't think any of these are compatible online, but still, I'm streaming these games off the cloud. I don't necessarily think cloud gaming is going to be the future, but these cloud services are definitely nice to have. It is actually supplied by Direct-to-Drive. If you're familiar with them, then they used to be a online digital outlet years ago. Check out something else. All right. Here's POW. This is one of SNK's early games before the Neo Geo. Let's see if it'll start up. It's actually a beat 'em up. I haven't really seen too much of SNK's pre-Neo Geo stuff until recently. But there is a compilation they put out, SNK Arcade Classic I think it's called. It's on Switch, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. You definitely want to check it out. If you get the Xbox One version, at least you get a copy of Baseball Stars with it, so that's a pretty cool add-on. My parents used to play that all the time. So you're beating up your way out of this camp. If it were a real camp, people would have came at you with guns like seconds ago. Alright. Now, one more thing I want to show you is the BYOG. What this is they recently released 1.0, so I'm not sure if you're still going to get the 5 free hours a month with the Arcadenet, but this is a 1.0, so this is going to be depreciated. But here's how it works: you're going to connect to a server, and well, I'll show you in a second. You gotta wait a few minutes for it to kick in. So I'll pause it and wait till it comes back. So as you can see, we're ready to connect to the streaming service, to the streaming server. So basically, if you leave this inactive for like 7 days, then they'll just clear it off, even if you do have time. So basically, you're going to need a keyboard and a mouse to navigate the menus. But the idea is that you're going to install Steam or whatever your preferred gaming distribution platform of choice is, which is likely Steam, and then you can install games on here. And like I showed you at the beginning, there's only a certain amount of games that'll work with this. So if I could find my mouse real quick. And so I took the liberty of installing some of them. I'm going to double click on that. That's Ikaruga. So of course this was by Treasure, Gunstar Heroes, and they made a lot of these great shooters. It's like the pioneer of the whole bullet hell. It's like one of the pioneers of the whole bullet hell genre. I wouldn't say pioneers, but I'm trying to get this to work with my okay, there we go. So basically, the objective of this is like you can switch your color anytime between white and black. And if you're white, you can absorb like bullets of whatever color you are. Let me adjust something here. Actually, I'm going to exit this real quick and restart. Because if you don't start the right way, then it'll just force you to use the keyboard and mouse, and you definitely want to use the joystick for this. Now, some of these games kind of require you to use the gamepad. So I'm basically connected to a server to stream these games. Again, the announced $20 price point might be too much, considering that you're only getting like 100 gigs, and only 65 of those will be usable. And there's not a whole lot of games that you can use with this, but again, this is just one of these things that this is nice to have, and I'm just showing you guys how this is working. This was originally released on Dreamcast and was one of the final games released for the system. Alright. See if we can get him out of here. Alright. Now you can also do local streaming. I believe that's going to be free even after the beta ends, but that you'll have to download the application I showed you at the beginning of this video and have that running on your PC. Then you can just Steam games on here, and you'll just use that in Steam Big Picture mode. Now, if the dozens of games that you're getting on here, the 160 games that you're getting on here, and the dozens of games you're getting through Arcadenet aren't enough for you, then you can also sideload your own stuff, and you'll do it with the addonx tool. So like I said before, you want a multi-partition flash drive to do it, because that's where you're going to load it. You'll go to this, and you'll select Format. I won't do it now, because obviously I have one that's full. And then you're going to go to the App Store X. Now what this is that addgames is a development kit for the Legends Gamer, where third parties can develop apps for it. And if you have an idea for it, you can email them for use of this dev kit. And these are like the first two apps, Pixelcade and Coinops. I haven't used the Pixelcade one because I'm not sure how to get that to work. But what Coinops X is that it's like a front end for our arcade games, like basically MAME ROMs and stuff. You can also use it with other systems like the Super Nintendo, Sega, TurboGrafx, or whatever. Now, in the link below, I'm going to post you two links to two tutorials on how to set this up, because they break it down better than I ever could, and already this video is going to be pretty long. Now, this number by it is that you have to be in log. That number by is the number of offline sessions that you can play. So if you're offline, then that'll count down to 0 each time you load it up. And if it's at 0, then you'll have to log back into your Arcadenet account in order to use it again. But we're online, so that won't go down. So let's check it out. CoinOpsX. X. Select, launch it. And I'm not going to show you where to get the ROMs either, because I don't support game piracy. So let's take a few seconds for it to load. So yeah, you basically get to see that little arcade style bezel, and if you look over to the right side, then you can see like how to. I think there's a way to filter out by naming it. I think that was added in a recent release. I'm not trying to get over there. But it's just a really neat interface for loading your to loading what you got on your USB. So let's check one of these things out. Jet Nova. He has to never shoot him up. He'll probably fit right in with this collection. So the tutorials I'm going to link you to, they're not created by me and I have nothing to do with them, but they'll show you how to set it up and get it to configure it and everything. I wonder if there's a way to access that little side menu. Okay, so you can use R1 and R2 to select by letter, so that's pretty cool. I think they added in as a recent update. Yes, there's, if you search online, there are actually like custom builds with already set up. Alright. Now, one last thing before I leave. Another recent update, like, added in beta testing for the pinball stuff. And, like, if you go on Arcadenet, you can check out some of the cloud pinball tables. It's just like how you select the menu. So, of course, the first thing you have to do is go here to install Pinball. So I'll pause and... Alright, now that the apps has been installed. Now, several of these you can download and play offline if you go to the site. So I think Leprechaun King is one of them. Leprechaun King Team Play is another one of them. Junkyard Cats. And I'll link you that in the description. Some of these are a bit tricky to play. So let's check out X. So these are Arcadenet, so they're running off the cloud again. But again, there are AddGames has some free open. I don't know if it's open source, but it's free pinball tables that you can download. In addition to that, they're coming out with their own Legends Arcade Pinball. So I think this is a beta testing for that. So you're going to use the rewind button to tables and A and B to control the flippers. Of course, a computer screen like this is not the ideal solution. The blade is on, but hey. You pull back on the joystick to activate it. So that's enough of me sucking at pinball. So that was the Legends Gamer. So that's several of the games, that's several of the capabilities. Did I go over everything? Yes, I certainly did. And if not, you'll find out on your own. There's voice chat. There's parental settings. Well, there's parental controls. You can tweak the UI. And that's pretty much it.
Alright, so this is the Legends Gamer Pro. Should be noted that the Standard Edition doesn't have a trackball. This is the Pro Edition. And it's actually a pretty good machine. My only few issues is that sometimes it's tricky to get the trackball to work. Also with the puck, the only way to turn off the machine is to unplug it from the AC. And to me, that's a little bit messy. There should have been a switch on there or an in-menu option, but that's only a small issue. Like, all the features, all the little stuff that you can do with it, like the Arcadenet, the third-party apps like the Coinops X, even the BYOG. Even though I don't really see it as having too much value, like being worth the $20 a month, it's still one of those nice things to have. And what's even cooler is that you can even stream your computer over your local network to it. So for those times you want to, if you're chilling in the living room and you want to play one of those Steam big picture games, then you can just hook up a gamepad to it. Also, like the CoinOpsX, X, it gives you a way to sideload your own ROMs onto here. And like, even without all the extra stuff, the 150 games that you do get, or if you got the Sam's Club version, the 160, it's a nice variety of games. There's a huge amount. Lots of different genres. There's a lot of variety on here. There's something for everyone on here. So if you like retro gaming, then you'll definitely want to check it out. Also, if you got kids, then this is definitely a good value too. Like, it's $200 at Sam's Club, and it's probably on sale for Christmas right now. And it's even, and so like, if you didn't get one of those fancy next-gen consoles, then boom, you can get this instead. Who needs a PlayStation 5 when you got this, right? So that's it. If you're still watching, thanks for joining me. I got tons of stuff on the way. So if you like what you just saw, click that like button. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. Click the bell icon so you'll be the first to see the new videos I put out, because I got tons of them coming on the way. One of my big projects for next year is a retrospective on the King of Fighters franchise. It's going to be broken up into several different parts. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. I got more reviews. I got more streams coming on the way. I got more features. So again, hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon. That way it'll help me out, and you can be the first to see the new videos. So it's an all-win situation for everybody. So for now though, hope you're having a great holiday, hope you're having a great Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, and I'm out of 51,000 G, kinfolk.